Is it too much to ask for a good horror movie? I don't think it is. So, Brahms the Boy 2 is a sequel to The Boy from 2016 with Lauren Cohan, which was a movie that I thought was okay, and then the last 20 minutes I thought was really interesting. So, the final act of that movie I thought was great, but the first half I thought was kind of boring. So, the sequel I was going into, I'm like, I don't know, because the way that movie ends, I was like, how the hell are they going to do a sequel with this doll again? It just, the whole way, it made no sense to me. I couldn't get my head around how they're going to do a sequel to this doll movie. And then I was watching it, and as I was playing it, I'm like, they don't have any idea how to do a sequel to this doll movie. As I was playing it, you could tell they had no idea what they were doing. Like, not even to get the spoilers of this movie, but they retcon about 90% of the first movie. Like, if you didn't see the first one, it makes no odds, because the first one is not mandatory at all to see this movie. Because a lot of the stuff that is played out in the first movie, which actually, you know what, I'm gonna spoil the first movie. If you haven't seen the first movie, spoiler warning. But at the end of the first movie, it is kind of revealed that the doll is not supernatural. It's actually a man is living within the walls, and he's controlling this doll by moving it around and doing all this kind of supernatural stuff that everyone thought was the doll, but actually was a man. So that was a twist in the first movie. So going into this movie, I was thinking, how are they going to do that twist again? And I was thinking a bit, maybe they're going to just redo that twist again, which I thought would be a really lazy way of doing it. Luckily, they didn't do that, but just the way this movie played out, I just kind of found it to be ridiculously boring. Because the movie, they tried to make this doll in a way more supernatural than he ever was in the first one, which is going kind of direction that it's kind of going a direction that was never set up in the first one. The first one was more of a mystery, but this one here is more. It's not even a thriller, because I wouldn't even consider it to be scary. It's not even a horror. It's just a movie. It's just there's nothing about this movie that is original. Nothing about this movie that is horror. Even though I think they consider this a horror thriller, there's nothing in this movie that would make you kind of be horrified or anything in that kind of nature whatsoever within this movie. The only good elements I would say to this movie is the kid in this movie who's kind of hanging out with Brahms, as well as the family, the two parents. I thought that whole kind of family dynamic was really believable, and I enjoyed it. The weakest elements of that family was by far the father, but I think he was only the weakest element because they didn't really give him much to do. He kind of really is a sideline character to the mother, who just they don't really give much to the father to do. So the mother and the son really do carry this movie. But in that character of Brahms, who was from the first movie, I feel like this is something where they had an idea for what to do with a doll movie, but then they said, okay, we need something to be certain, because I actually looked at the budget. The budget of the first one was 10 million and it made 60 million, so they made so much money off the first one. They probably thought, okay, we've got a built-in audience in the first movie, so we could easily just make a sequel, have nothing to do with the first one, every now and again just sprinkle a few things throughout and make a sequel to this, but we'll go in a completely different direction. Which is what this movie did. I think they only called it Brahms because like that's the character's name, but then the tagline is The Boy 2 rather than being called The Boy 2 and then the tagline being the character's name. I think the only reason they put Brahms first is because they want to go off in a different way, where it's because you don't need to see the first movie, so you can go. I think this movie was trying to go off in a completely different direction and do something completely new and completely different that the first movie never really did. So I think this was them trying to set up a franchise, which I think kind of fell flat in their face. I don't imagine we'll get a sequel. I think the only way we're going to get a sequel is if this makes money, because I can't imagine a lot of people are going to be screaming for a sequel for this movie. I don't think anyone's really screaming for a sequel from the first movie, but the only way we're gonna get a sequel is if it makes money, but I don't think it will make a lot of money, because it's like everyone's gonna go see Sonic or Birds of Prey and all these next couple of weeks. I don't think anyone's really gonna go see The Boy 2. Personally, if I wasn't going to review it, I don't think I would have seen it. The only reason I actually went back and watched the first one was because Lauren Cohan from The Walking Dead was in it. I think like even in the first movie, she's the only saving grace. The whole boy aspect to it is not really good. It literally is just a Lauren Cohan movie. It's the only thing I actually really enjoyed about the first. But in terms of a recommendation for this movie, I really wouldn't recommend it unless you're desperate for something to see. I really, really wouldn't recommend it. As I said, you don't need to see the first one. But again, I can't recommend it. It was boring. It's only an hour and 20 minutes long, and it feels a lot longer because nothing really happens in this movie. You can tell it was all just filmed in one location. They kind of just moved the doll around creepy places. There isn't like there's no real story to it. The whole movie, it just kind of feels like it was just kind of getting along, just get that runtime in, just get as much money for the studio as they possibly could, because there's nothing original about this movie. There's nothing memorable about this movie. Like I seen it probably like an hour ago. I think I finished it at, and I'm kind of struggling to remember parts of it because it's just really unmemorable. Like I remember the big moments, but I actually couldn't tell you any of the characters' names. Actually, no, that's a lie. The kid's name is Jude, because every time they said his name, I kept singing the Beatles song "Hey Jude" in my head. He's the only one I actually remember. That just shows how unmemorable that this movie was. The only way I was able to remember a kid's name, which was the main character of this movie, was because it's a Beatles song. That's the only way I was able to remember this kid's name. But so if you haven't seen this movie, don't see it. Honestly, I could not recommend it. Do not see it. This is kind of save your money. There's going to be a few movies onwards coming out in a few weeks. You should kind of save your money for that one, because that will be probably 100 times better than this movie. But if you have seen this movie, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I kind of want to get other people's opinion on this to see if I'm wrong. Maybe people loved it. I personally thought it was really crap. I haven't seen any reviews. I haven't watched any reviews. I don't know people's opinion on this. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Click the subscribe button so you can go back to the other movie reviews and The Walking Dead, which is coming back tonight. So I'm going to be reviewing that every week for the next 8 weeks. Continuing on with the next kind of two spin-off shows, I'll be reviewing all them. So if you want to see all that kind of stuff, click that subscribe button. And as always, thanks for watching.